Hello, it's Ryan here with HobbiesofaMan once again, and today we're going to be doing another haul video. We're going to be looking at everything that I bought this month, February. I did say in my goals for 2024 that I was going to try to buy less things. Well, doesn't look like I've succeeded in doing that. So let's get started here. We're going to start with the manga now, since I decided that that's a better style for the channel here. It might make it more successful, but let's start with the digital manga. So there was a Humble Bundle this month with Kodansha. They were selling this bundle that had 135 books, and the books that were included were all basically award-winning manga or manga that was nominated for awards, right? So you have things like Vinland Saga and Nina the Starry Bride, which I've heard of, Blue Period, which had Atelier, which is pretty good. I actually really love that series. Shangri-La Frontier, and The Drops of God, which is a wine tasting manga, which is kind of crazy. And A Sign of Affection. And What Did You Eat Yesterday, which I've never heard of, although I think I have a first volume copy of it on Bookwalker. Not really sure. More Witch Hats. See, there's something else. Yeah, A Silent Voice. And maybe there's something else. Medalist. Apparently that's supposed to be really good. And that's it. So there's like 6 series here. They're either caught up to their most current release physically, or they're up to the most current release digitally, or they're completely finished. It depends on the series, right? And the Humble Bundle is over, so you can't buy this anymore. But if you can get in contact with someone that did, you can definitely get them to give you this manga, right? Because the way that that Humble Bundle works is that they give you download links, and you download the one you like, right? So yeah, I paid $25 for this. It gave me the whole thing, and a lot of these are repeats. I have all of Witch Hat Atelier in person in physical form. I have all of Vinland Saga in physical form. I'm not really interested in Nina the Starry Bride, but for the sake of or Blue Period, actually, I'm not really interested in Blue Period either. Although now I'm gonna read it, but I bought this basically for the sake of Shangri-La Frontier and The Sign of Affection and The Silent Voice. I thought, these 2 series are worth $25 all told. There was it's like 20 something volumes that I was interested in, and alongside that I got a completed series in The Drops of God, which I'm pretty sure is supposed to be really good, and a bunch of other stuff that I was mildly aware of, right? Like The Medalist, I think that one is also supposed to be really good. So it was a great deal for me, just for Shangri-La Frontier, and so I was willing to buy it, and so I did, and now I have 135 manga volumes. And this is actually pretty good because it's building up my personal library of digital comic books and digital manga that I actually own. And that's actually really important because I don't like the aspect of Kindle where you buy things on there and you don't actually own them. At any point, you can lose them, right? Which I don't mean to harp on too much, but it's really important that we talk about that because it's like a crazy important thing, and no one really thinks about it. Or maybe a lot of people mention it, but don't really bother to care about it, right? So, yeah, now I'm maybe being a little bit hypocritical since I do still buy books on Kindle. But the thing is that mostly I get free books or books that I can buy physically if I need to. I just choose not to because it's just cheaper to do so digitally, right? So, yeah, moving on to the actual physical manga here. So let's start with Lupin the Third, Book 2. This is Thick as Thieves, which is the second book in the Monkey Punch collection here. This is the 8th book in the classic collection. Let's see. There's 3 Captain Harlocks, 1 Yamato, 2 Ishinomoris, 2 Monkey Punch, and then 3 Go Nagai. So I think it's actually 9. Yeah, so this would be the 10th. No, let me recount that. 3 and 3 is 6, and 1 is 7, and 1 is No, it's 11. This is the 11th book in the collection, which is kind of crazy. I did not actually expect that to be the case. I thought it was going to be like the 7th or 8th one, right? But yeah, this is a second book. This is more adventures from Monkey Punch. I'm not sure what this is based on because there is an edition that collects all of Lupin III in a very specific format available. And it's actually available in Spain. I don't know that this is based on that, although it could be, but I don't think so because these look really, really skinny and the volumes I saw from Spain are pretty thick, right? So, yeah, that's number 1 right there. Here's number 2. There was a sale at In Stock Trades. Oh, I got that for 16 bucks from Walmart. I bought it online. And 16 bucks is a pretty good price. I think it was on Amazon for the same price. I would recommend it since it's about $9 cheaper. So it's not exactly half price, but close enough, right? So yeah, here's the RCL or Dracula book 1. This is a Shinichi Sakamoto work. The second one that has been released in English. Hopefully we'll get more of them because the art style here is amazing. It's phenomenal. It's not necessarily everyone's cup of tea. It might be a little bit too off-putting to look at, but man, it looks so cool, right? So yeah, now I'm not really sure that I like these stories, right? I just bought these because they were both really, really cheap. I bought this and Innocent last month, and both of them were super, super cheap for what they are. I think they actually also cost the same because, you know, this is a Viz Signature hardcover, and so they're like $30. And the other one is Omnibus, and those are also $30. And so I think I got them for about the same price for really cheap. So this is a phenomenal find. And this is in the style of JoJo's or Fist of the North Star, where it's a hardcover. It doesn't come with a dust jacket, and I don't really mind, although there is some added value to the dust jacket because you could add more stuff to the dust jacket to make it cool, right? Like there could be an image on the inside, or the flaps could have information and stuff like that. So there's kind of a missed opportunity there, but also it's probably maybe not that important. However, there do not seem to be any color pages here. Oh wait, never mind. I was just about to complain. No, there are color pages here. And thank God, because a hardcover without color pages would be kind of ridiculous. It doesn't look like there's any other ones, so. But I mean, either way, look at this. This almost looks like Boichi in this case. But look at that. That's so beautiful. That's gorgeous, right? Then rapid fire here. Here's Record of Ragnarok number 9. Pretty enjoyable book. I like this part of the story. Here's Gachiakuta by Kei Urano. This is the new flagship title for the other shonen magazine. I can't remember what it's called. Shonen Sunday? No, sorry, that's the other one that's run by Viz, or that Viz gets titles from. This is Weekly Shonen something, right? Or Shonen something. I can't remember. It's the one where Fairy Tail is, and Eden Zero and Fire Force, right? It's from that series, or sorry, from that magazine. And this is basically their new flagship title. And it's interesting that it was printed in a larger format. I guess it's because it's an older rated teen comic. I'm not really sure, or because they were expecting a lot of great stuff from it. But here we go. I like this. I mean, okay, on one hand, I don't like this because it's tacky to print stuff on the inside of this. But on the other hand, this is what would have been in the cover of the inside of the book, right? So in Japan, they put dust jackets over paperbacks, and this would have been the cover that's on the actual book, right? The dust jacket would have been this image, right? So I like that they added it there because sometimes they would just leave it out. This is also a phenomenal drawing there. This is on the back side of the book, and I really, really like that. So yeah, it's kind of odd that it's a larger size because this should be in line with all the other titles that they're making, but maybe they're moving away from the smaller books, right? Because even their reprints for omnibuses are larger, right? But look at this artwork is phenomenal. It's a little bit like My Hero Academia. It's a little bit like Fire Force because this guy used to work under the guy that did Fire Force, and it looks great, and I'm very curious to see where it goes. I have not really had a chance to read that yet. So yeah, here's Glipnir number 6. I am slowly but surely getting close to collecting it completely, but I haven't had a chance to do so just yet. So yeah, overall looks really, really good. I love that color. Here's Sour and the House of Monsters. Book 2, disappointed that there's no color pages here, but it is what it is. It's kind of expected from 7 Seas. They never really market anything as like, you know, fancy or not fancy when it comes to normal things, and so it's like okay if they don't give you, you know, all of the bells and whistles, but it would have been cool if they did have this image in color again, even though it's not necessary, right? So yeah, let's see. I'm very excited about this. I love the series. I think it's wonderful, and hopefully this is popular enough that we get other Hidenori Yamaji works, because the other series that he has is really great. It was unfinished, but it's really, really great. It's called Mary Grave, and it's one of the first manga I bought from Mexico, and it's 5 volumes. It's finished, but it was canceled, and it's really phenomenal. I hope you guys get a chance to read it in English, right? So yeah, here's Heart Gear. This was $3 on In-Stock Trades, which is great, and this series is phenomenal. I read it on the Manga Plus app, and then the Manga Plus app changed to be like a subscription service, although because it overlaps a lot with the Shonen Jump app and it's a little bit steeper priced, I don't find it to be valuable enough to buy it. And so if you don't have a subscription account, you have to do like the stupid gotcha service version, and I don't like those types of versions of apps, so I decided to just not use the app, right? Which is disappointing because there's a series on there I like, in Heart Gear being one of them, but Viz decided to release it, you know, in big format, and I'm willing to just buy it, especially if I can find it for cheaper than cover, and this was immensely cheap, so I am willing to splurge a little bit on the other one since I love this series. Now, this also means that I need to get the other Shuyoshi Takaki series that Viz has put out to complete my collection of him, because I love his artwork, right? So yeah, the Heart Gear number 2, I bought that first because it was so cheap. Alongside this, I had just decided that I was gonna get rid of Ogami-san, Can't Keep It In, when I saw that this was $3. And I was like, well, for $3, I'm willing to try and like it more. Like, I'm willing to give it another chance to enlighten me, to make me interested in the series. And so I got this, and we'll see if it does, right? I don't know when I'll read it, but I'll read it eventually. Then I got Heart Gear number 1. I was like, well, I can't just have the second one, so I gotta get the first one. And thankfully, it was discounted on, I can't remember if it was Walmart or Amazon, but I got it, and I'm very happy about that. However, I am immensely disappointed about the fact that these are not in color, because on the Manga Plus app, they are in color, and they look phenomenal. And it's really disappointing that they're not in color here, because look at that. It's a signature volume. It's supposed to be the best, the cream of the crop, right? And Viz is supposed to be the best manga publisher in the West, right? So why are they not giving me what I'm expecting out of them, right? Like, why are they not giving us what we, I wouldn't say deserve, because, you know, no one really deserves anything, but why are we not getting what we pay for, essentially, right? So, yeah, that's a little bit disappointing, but I know what those images look like in color, so I'm not, like, horribly upset about that fact, because, like, I'm willing to let it go just because I love the series, if that makes sense. Also, they just look so great. Like, the colors are very vibrant and cool. Book 4 is blue, book 3 is yellow, and book 5, I think it's gonna be orange. I can't remember. Here's Drifting Dragons number 15. It took me a long time to get this book, but I finally bit the bullet because it wasn't dropping price, and so I was like, well, I might as well just get it full price. I don't care enough to wait anymore. I really want to read this, and man, I love this series. This series is so wonderful. Then we have Witch Hat Atelier Kitchen number 2. This is the food manga spin-off of Witch Hat Atelier. It's really great. The art style is not exactly the same, but so close that it's really hard to tell that it's not the same artist. And I think that is one, amazing skill on the side of Hiro Misato, but also two, immensely helpful to the series, because I don't think this would sell that well, and I would not be interested in it if it didn't look as similar as it does, because half of the appeal of Witch Hat Atelier, besides the fact that the storytelling is phenomenal, is the visual value that the artwork adds, right? So yeah, thankfully they're succeeding with this, and I'm very happy about that. So there's that. Moving on to more normal sized books, we have Oshinoko number 3, because I was missing it, so I decided to bite the bullet, although it was not as cheap as I would have liked it to be, especially with number 4 being $3, right? But yeah, this one continues to get all of its color pages, which is annoying when all the other ones don't, but you know, it is what it is. Here's Eden Zero number 24. It's been a while. I'm actually like 4 books behind on Eden Zero. I've been wanting to get them. I just never find them at the store. So I managed to get this one for cheaper than cover price, which is great. But I'm behind, and I need to get caught up as soon as possible because I love the series, right? So yeah, here's Who Wants to Marry a Billionaire number 5. I love this cover, but you know, maybe she didn't have the dress like that. And yeah, this series is weird, but I like it. And the last book comes out next month, so hopefully I'll get it. And if I get it, I will do a full review of the series. I was supposed to start reading the series this month again, but I decided to wait because I was like, well, if I start now, I'm gonna have to take notes for it to review it next month, right? Like halfway through the month. So maybe I'll just read it next month instead and review it completely, you know, next time. And that way I can avoid having to take notes twice, right? So yeah, here's Yomotsuhegi, or Yomotsuhegui, The Tree of Death. This is the first Masumi Kakisaki work we have in English. It's phenomenal. I love this cover. I think it's great. However, there's no color pages. And that is immensely disappointing because this guy makes wonderful, amazing color pages. Like, they still look good in black and white, but these should be in color. And you should be able to see this detailing that he has all over the place, where he puts these crazy little like lines of white across the page, and you can't because it's not in color. And that's really, really disappointing. But look at this artwork, man. I fucking love Masumi Kakisaki. This is another volume to add to the collection of his stories. I'm very happy about that. I do want Rainbow, but it's not available in English. It's not available in Mexico. I would have to import it from France or Spain, and that is way too expensive now that Book Depository doesn't exist anymore. So I can't really do that. So I'm gonna try my best to support all of the releases that they do for this guy in English. 7 Seas, I hope that you bring the rest of his stories because they deserve to be read by Americans, man. They're so good. The pricing is not my favorite, but it is what it is. However, it is a chunky book. Like, it's actually probably the only, you know, 7 Seas title released in this format that actually deserves the price tag because it's so big. Like, it's twice the size almost of the other ones. Like, let's see if I can compare them without dropping stuff, right? Like, it's not exactly twice, but it's like 1.5 of the other volumes, right? So I guess it is bang for your buck compared to the usual fare. But it's still a bit expensive, right? Because that's just how it is. But it's really, really good. And finally, we have, we started a threesome. This is by Katsu Aki, who you may not know, but they did this series many, many years ago called the Manga Kama Sutra or something. It's about this newly married couple who's friends with this couple that's been married for a long time, and they go through basically the difficulties of being newlyweds and discovering, you know, their sexuality with each other and kind of figuring out what they like in their partner and stuff like that. And it's supposed to be a really, really good series. I'm not really sure that I ever read much of it. I think when I was younger, I did find like a couple chapters of it, and I thought it looked really, really good. I liked the art style, but I don't remember reading more than the first 2 or 3 chapters of it, right? So yeah, but I got it because this is the first manga that they publish here in English from this author, and maybe we'll get the other one. There you go, the Futari H, or Futari Echi Manga Sutra. There you go. It's supposed to be very, very famous, very, very good. So good that they put it on the cover, even though it's not available in English. So there you go. The artwork's pretty phenomenal, even though it has this kind of like shoujo style right to it, but it's good. I'm not too sure about the premise, but we'll see. I got it just because I was curious about it. And I also think I got that one on sale, actually. I think it was $3 on Book Depository, so that's pretty good. Yeah, so that's it for the manga. I'm not going to buy any before the end of the month, although there's only 2 days left. So I guess the only thing to mention is I might end up getting Blue Lock 11 before the month ends, but not before I finish recording these videos. So I'll probably put it in the next month. And I probably shouldn't have even mentioned it because you guys don't care, right? But it is what it is. Before we transition away from manga, let's look at one last thing here, which is this Q Posket Yoichi Isagi cute little figure. It's basically a Funko Pop. It's a much nicer version of a Funko Pop, and I got it for $8. And I think I actually paid $13 total because of shipping from Crunchyroll. And I was afraid that I wasn't gonna like the the figure. I got it, I found it, I saw that it was maybe a little bit creepy for my taste, but then I really fell in love with it. And now I have a problem because I want to get the rest of the Blue Lock Q Poskets, and they're all kind of hard to buy because it's basically past their prime, right? Like, they came out, and you know, with figures you basically have to buy them when they come out, otherwise it's pretty unlikely you're ever going to get a chance to own them, right? So I'm kind of screwed, but hopefully I'll be able to get them. I think there's Bachira, and there's Nagi, and Nagi's buddy, the guy with purple hair, and Rin. But there's no orange-haired guy. And there's also Chigiri. So I need to get all of them, but I'm not going to, because it's probably very unlikely that I'll get a chance to buy the rest of them. Let me actually grab the Q Posket off my shelf and show it to you guys really quickly here. There you go. He looks pretty good. Like, I was initially creeped out by his eyeballs, but he's good. He looks great. He's not too tall. He's not too short. He's like the right size. His head is huge, but it works. Like, it's recognizable. It's cute. It's not, you know, like a non-scale figure. You know, like your generic figures usually are like 90% good, but there's like a little bit of an error with them, right? This one, because it's already like super deformed, right, because of the styling, if there is a mistake somewhere, it's pretty unnoticeable because you can just assume that it's part of the aesthetic of the vibe, right? Like of the fact that it's chibi-fied. And so I think it looks phenomenal, and it's also a really great way to collect this. And kind of have this like specific like bobblehead looking kind of collection, right? Which is very similar to why people buy Funko Pops, right? But like I said, it's pretty unlikely I'll ever get a chance to get the rest of them, although I would really, really like to. So we'll see what happens here. But I'm very happy. At least I have Isagi, right? Since he's the main character of the series. I would really love a Bachira and a Nagi pair as well. I don't really mind if I don't have Chigiri and the other guy and Rin, right? I don't really care too much about those characters, but Bachira is probably my favorite character, and I would have really liked to have him, but he wasn't on sale, so I was not going to get him. But yeah, here you go. That's last thing that has to do with manga here before we transition off to comic books. So I'll see you guys tomorrow because I have to buy comic books on Wednesday. And today's Tuesday, so I'll see you guys tomorrow morning before the release of the video, and we'll move on to the books from there. So I'll see you guys in the next clip. Okay, so let's finish up with the comic books here real quick, and then hopefully I can get this out today. So let's start with the big comic book. So here's Blasphemous. This is the first distillery work that I get. It's by Mir Gandolfo. It's pretty different from what I expected, but not so much that I disliked it. I thought it was about like singers, right? And then there was like an element where they're not like humans. But no, it's actually more like a well, I mean, I guess it is with that, but it has other elements to it. It has almost like a The Boys kind of vibe to it, where like these people become famous because they make a pact with the devil, and then they create a society that values them in order to create, business for themselves that's going to help them do other things, right? And it feels very much like The Boys, where like, just because you think these people are good does not mean that they actually are, right? And then you get to learn about all the fucked up shit they do. So it's like subversive in that way, but it's good. It's interesting. I like the colors. I like the artwork, but Mirka Andolfo is not necessarily the best writer. And so I'm not sure how many of these issues I'm going to be willing to collect, because they're pretty expensive, even though they are like a large format and they are in color and stuff. Like, it's a little bit expensive, right? So I don't know, we'll see. But overall, I liked it. I thought it was good. I might be interested in getting other distillery works. The problem is that I probably won't be able to buy them as they come out issue by issue. So I'll probably just wait for a collected edition, because that will be the most economic way to buy them, right? Another big comic book that I bought this month was this Penthouse Comics one. I already did a review for this one. I have not done one for Blasphemous, but the review is still not ready to come out. So I'll have to put it out after I do the Ramble video for March. So probably Sunday, as of, when I release this video, is probably when the Penthouse Comics review is going to come out. So look forward to that. And finally, we have Savage Sword of Conan, which relaunched the title here just today, actually. I went to pick this up. That's why I was waiting. And it looks great. It's in black and white. It's on newsprint, which on one hand is a great thing, because it brings you back to what it was supposed to be like back in the day. But I'm not from back then, so I don't have any nostalgia to it. And so newsprint actually makes me think that this is cheap, and that I'm getting kind of like, what's it called? I'm not getting bang for my buck, right? Because this is an 80-page book, and it's $7. So on that scale, it's actually pretty affordable, right? And but the newsprint is not that great. It's not my favorite, and it actually makes it so that some of the pictures and stuff that are in there don't look that great. I haven't really read it, so I'm not really sure. But I just like looked through the pinups, and well, some of the pinups are in black and white, and because of their printing and the fact that printing is not that detailed, well, they don't look that great, right? So it kind of sucks, right? But I'm just happy that the title relaunched, and I'm excited to get into it and see what we get out of it. But well, there might be some issues that I have to talk about later on, right? So yeah, that's it for the big comic books. Let's look at the smaller comic books, and they're going to be kind of out of order here because well, I don't feel like ordering them properly, right? So here's Ultimate Spider-Man number 2, really good stuff. Transformers number 5, I love this issue. Wonder Woman number 6, this was great. It was kind of like the first major like thing that happens here, where she finally fights her bad guys. Although she basically just fights like her version of the Sinister Six, and she manages to win. But it's very well done. I love it. There's some amazing artwork here. It's good. Unnatural Order number 3 is a very thick book. It's worth the $5 tag, but it's a little bit odd. Like I don't really know what's going on yet, so we'll see. But I think next issue is the last issue for now, and if that is the case, I'm going to be looking forward to it, right? So yeah, here's Rebel Moon number 2. This one was a good cover by Daniel Warren Johnson, but I don't think the story was that great. However, it wasn't bad. Like it's on par with the Rebel Moon movie, but it's a little bit different, right? So I will finish up reading this since it's only 2 more issues, right? Here's Blue Beetle number 6, which is awesome. I love this book so much. I hope it goes on for a long time, and that we eventually get a, Trujillo and Gutierrez and in Quintana omnibus, right? Like an omnibus of all their stuff, including Graduation Day, right? Here's Thundercats number 1. This is a great relaunch. I'm very happy about this. It was wonderful. I love this cover, although Snarf is kind of creepy, but very good stuff. Here's Conan the Barbarian number 7. I got this, I think at the beginning of the month, because I didn't go to the store at the end of last month. I can't remember, but good stuff. This is probably the best issue so far in this arc. But we'll see. I do have the last one here. Here's Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong number 4. And number 3, and this cover is phenomenal. Like, I would put this up as a poster if I could find it somewhere, right? Here's Red Sonja number 6. And Red Sonja number 7. This actually picks back up, so there's kind of a little bit of a lull in the story for a bit, but it's back now, and it's very good. Here's Did Lucky number 11. Good stuff. Sheena number 5. This is the end of the arc, and I think it's probably going to be the retiring of the character for a bit, because that's what they've been doing. They basically did this for Barbarella and then for Sheena, and they did it exactly the same way, where it was a 10-issue big series that was good, and then a shitty or less good series of 5 issues, right? And I think that they wanted it to go on for more, but it doesn't seem like there was the desire for it, so that sucks. With Barbarella, it was because it was bad, and with this one, it's just because it wasn't that interesting compared to the first one, right? Here's Rogue Sun number 18, and I think this is the end of the arc for now, and there's going to be a little bit of a hiatus for Rogue Sun, so yeah, but that cover is awesome. It looks great. And here's all the stuff that I bought today. So here's Justice League versus Godzilla versus King Kong number 5. I could take or leave this cover. I don't think it's all that interesting. Here's Green Arrow number 9. I don't like this orange background. I know it's fire, but it doesn't look that great. And I don't know if this is important because, you know, the last 2 issues, Oliver's been wanting to kill, Amanda Waller. Here's Fire and Ice Tigra. This is a one-shot to kind of tell the story of Tigra a little bit. Or Tigra, I don't know how to say her name. But it looks good. The artwork is pretty interesting. It's a little bit cartoonier than I was expecting, but not too bad. It looks good. It was $6, and well, I don't know that this is worth $6. It's an average size comic book. But I don't know. Maybe it's just because of the license for this book. It takes a bit more money to make, right? But I don't know. I'm not too excited about that one. Now that I look at it, like the price just doesn't match what's in there, right? So yeah, and here's Red Sonja number 8. I love this cover, and she does have her strap in between both of the cups there, which is nice because in the last 2 covers she didn't. And here's the last Conan comic book for this arc. So next arc, we get back to Rob Del Torre, which is awesome because I really love his artwork. I like Doug Braithwaite's artwork too, but the colors are not my favorite. I don't really like how they look. But we're gonna finish that up. See, like when the colors are like this, awesome. It looks good. I don't like this like yellow orange glow that they put on a bunch of stuff. It doesn't look good to me. But yeah, so there you go. Those are the comic books. It's a nice big pile. You know, I forgot one thing, which is this. Calvin and Hobbes Portable Compendium, book 1. Actually, books 1 and 2. So you buy this. This was for $10 earlier this month. And it's usually for $20, right? So I picked it up. I thought it was a good investment because it comes with these 2 little books here. Books 1 and 2, as you guys can see right there. And these collect, you know, the story of Calvin and Hobbes, which I've never read before. So I'm excited about that. There's some colored pages here and there. See? Some colored strips, but they're supposed to be in black and white. And there's 2 of these books per portable compendium, which means that I think there's 7 of these total that they're gonna make. So it's a pretty affordable and easy way to get these, and it also makes it so that you can display it quite easily because you don't have to do it sideways, right? You can do it up and down like a normal book, which is great. So it's a very nice way to make this work, and I really appreciate that they did that. So yeah, there you go. Now we're done with the comic books. So I'll see you guys in the next clip. So let's keep going here. So in terms of digital books, we have whatever is in here. So I think we ended it last month right here. So there's that. Nothing too interesting here at the beginning. Eventually I did buy The Beginning After the End, which is basically Mushoku Tensei, but in English by another author. And I like the comic, but the comic is way too expensive for you know what you get out of it, and so I decided to buy the novels instead because they're only $2 on Kindle. I think there's a way for you to read them for free somewhere, but I'm not really sure how to do that because they might be on Webnovel or something. But there's a conflict of interest with Amazon where they don't like you having things that you can read for free elsewhere on their website to buy because basically you're removing sales. So there's like an issue with that, but The Beginning After the End, Early Years, that's volume 1. He Who Fights His Monsters by Shir Taloon. I've heard a lot of good things about it. Some other, you know, video game, isekai type things. A new Conan story. This is about Belit. I'm curious about what that actually entails. I don't know what there is to say about her as a character that would resonate after reading, you know, The Queen of the Black Coast. Like, that story, that short story by Robert A. Howard, tells you basically everything you need to know about Belit, right? So I'm not really sure that there's anything more that we're going to learn about her. But I'm curious to see. I'm willing to you know, read it, so we'll see. And finally, probably the most important thing, I bought the second Cradle set. So this collects the 4th, 5th, and 6th book, and I can't wait to get around to it. But I'm not going to for a while. I just bought it because I needed to. I felt the need to do so. But I am really into The Wandering Inn right now. So I'm probably going to switch between Cradle and The Wandering Inn and switch both of them. Otherwise, I'm going to, you know, run through a series, get burnt out, realize I don't like it as much as I actually think I do, and then, you know, be sad about it. So I don't want to do that, especially not with Cradle and with Wandering Inn. So I'm going to try to take them slowly, take my time with them, just kind of enjoy the ride and not kind of blast through them like I did so far, right? So that's it for the stuff that I bought digitally. I bought 2 more things physically. Here is The Horror Stories of Robert E. Howard. This book really needs a thicker cover because this one is so flimsy, and it's not enough to support the book, so that's not good. But yeah, I'm not really sure if there's any duplicates here. Let's see. I have about half of the collection now, which is great. Greg Staples does the illustrations here. And let's see if there's any duplicates here. No, this is just frontispiece information. Let's see, forward. Force the Velifier, Werewolf, Wolfshed, Dead Man's Hate. No, it doesn't look like any of this is stuff that I've read before. Although there might be 1 or 2 things that might be, you know, Conan stuff. The Blackstone, that is something that is important to the Conan stories coming out right now, the comic book. But I don't know if that actually is a Conan story. Let's see, 159. Let's see. No, this is about some German dude. Okay, cool. I'm curious to see if it ties in, but I doubt it. But yeah, this was $12 this month. I don't know why it dropped in price a lot, and $12 for a gigantic book like this is well worth the price. So that's book 1 that I bought this month, and here is book 2, another chonker. This is just a brick. Like, literally, it is the same dimensions as a brick, more or less. This is a little bit wider than a brick usually, but there's definitely bricks that are about, you know, 8 or 9 inches long. And this is Rhythm of War, book 4 in the Stormlight Archive. And it's one of 2 or 3 Stormlight Archives that I've not had a chance to read. And, well, I'm kind of regretting buying it now because look at how tiny the print is. But this is the edition I have all of the other books from Brandon Sanderson in, so I don't really want to change it out. However, I probably will have to, because I don't really feel like waiting until the secret projects get mass market paperbacks. And I feel like I'm going to miss out if I do that. So I'm probably just going to end up having to track them down and buy the hardcover editions for all of them. So wish me luck with that. Hopefully I do it before they run out of stock of them. I doubt they will, but hopefully they don't. And yeah, so that's it for the books. Not too much. This should be the end of the video, so I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below. Let me know what you thought. Let me know what you guys bought this month. Did you buy anything really, really cool? Did you like anything I bought? If you did, let me know down below. And thank you guys very much for watching. I really appreciate that you guys take the time to watch these videos. And if you stuck through to the end, extra thanks to you for willing to listen to me ramble for, you know, about an hour, right? Or however long this video took. So yeah, there you go. Thank you guys once again, and see you guys later.